Hey, this is Sri Vishwanath here, and welcome to episode number 41 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath show. In today's episode, we speak about the power of storytelling and how this one story can be like a breath of fresh air in your spiritual life.
You ask questions and I answer them. This is the Ask Sri Vishwanath show.
Alright, so today's question is from Rosario from Canada, and she says, how do we control our mind? No matter what I do, my emotions just burst out during times and I seem helpless and the situation goes out of control. I just don't seem to control it. Just don't seem to manage it. So, Rosario, this is, thanks for that question. This is, wonderful question. A lot of people will benefit from this question. I too have gone and we are all learning, all right? So, all the great beings have said that Krishna asked Arjuna that everything he's saying is right, but the mind is fickle, it's difficult to control. And so Krishna says, it's true that the mind is fickle and difficult to control, but through practice and detachment, one brings it under control. And, what he means by practice is not, just practicing some exercise or something, but, practicing getting in touch with the consciousness and keeping your mind at a certain level. But before we come to all those, fancy things, let me share with you a wonderful story. Because this story, I think I read it somewhere, I don't know the exact source, but it's really a wonderful story, and I want to share that with you. So just listen, it will do a lot of wonderful things to your brains, and a lot of good things will happen to you. So the story is about a little boy, and somewhere around 15 to 16 years, and he lived at the edge of a border, and he every day he used to take a bicycle and used to cross that border to the other side, okay? And he used to do this every single day. And as he crossed the border, there was heavy checking at the border. And as every day as he went with the bicycle, he used to have a huge, a bag of sack, a very filthy, very bad-looking bag of sack. And inside of it, there would be all charcoals, all charcoals. And it would be there inside of that, and he would put it on the top of the bicycle and he would take it, and every day the security guys, they would because they would check this whole dirty bag, they'd see all the things inside, the charcoals and all that stuff, and it would take up a lot of their time, and then they would say go. And he used to do it every day, every single day. They used to get upset. There were a lot of people, but that's what it is. They had to do the duty, and he used to go every day with that, and they used to check all his baggage, his dirty bag with the charcoal, which he had put on the top of the bicycle, and every day he used to cross the border. And this happened for like 5-6 years. And then one day, when the boy had become almost like 20 or something, he was on the other side of the border. Once he crossed the border, and he was drinking tea in a restaurant, and this one security guy, his duty was over, so he was sitting on the, he saw him and he introduced him because he saw him almost every day. And he said, I want to ask you a question. What is it that you're doing every day, that you're crossing the border with a bicycle with a bag of charcoal? What is it that you're doing? Every single day you're doing, what do you do? And the boy said, well, every single day I am taking a new bicycle, and from this side of the border to the other side of the border, and I'm selling it for a profit. You see, and that is what the boy did, and he could only do it if he had this big bag of charcoal, full of charcoal, because if he did not put all those things on the top, the security guys would not allow him to cross the border with the bicycle and sell them, and he could not make a profit and a living. So, for the bicycle to go inside, he used the bag of charcoal, as a distraction, as a bait, so that the security guys' attention would fall on that bag and they would not notice the bicycle which was going every single day. And the security guys kind of laughed because the boy had almost done with his business and he was no longer getting the bicycle there. But the most important thing of this story is that what all the great men say is that this is what the mind is. The mind is like the security people always trying to see the bag of the dirty bag filled with charcoal. It's like going out, desires, guilt, shame, pleasure, sometimes pain, and then it says this is good, that is bad. The mind is getting distracted by the things happening in the world. All those things which you say, I want to control my mind, Rosario, whatever it is, whether it is guilt, shame, pain, pleasure, action, inaction, doing right things, doing wrong things. It's like there is this wonderful bicycle is nothing but the consciousness, which is like moving every single day. This is available to you every single day. This brand new bicycle, which is nothing but your consciousness, on which you can ride and just live life wonderfully. But when you leave this context and settle for the mind and intellect as the thing which is like, that's the nature of the mind. You see, the nature of the security guys, they suspect everything. There's doubt, there is fear. So the mind, nature of the mind is the moment it goes out, it's going to get you into trouble. And no matter what you do, it's even if you find good things, sometimes you're going to find bad things. And there's nothing in that. It's a bag of charcoal. Because then this is the thing you have to, this is the new bicycle, this is the consciousness. So always understand that the mind will always move towards the bag of charcoal. That's its nature, like the security guy. It has got all those features of, doubting and all that stuff. And no matter how good a thing it is, there is always going to be something which is going to get distracted. So don't be like that security guy wanting to check the bag of charcoals and then leave the cycle, because as life moves away, your consciousness will just move away. And so Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that attachment to objects develop when the mind ponders over it. Out of attachment develops craving, out of craving wrath, out of wrath delusion. And when this happens, memory fails, intelligence perishes, destruction reigns. You see, Krishna says that every second there is an attachment being developed and we don't see it. See, it's happening fast. Attachment to objects develop and the mind ponders over it. Even just 5 seconds you put out your mind, it gets attached to something. You just don't notice it. And then there is, when out of attachment develops craving, you want it again. And when you don't get it, out of craving develops wrath, you get angry. Out of wrath delusion, when this happens, memory fails, intelligence fails. Because there's a complete blockage. So security guy will see only the bag of charcoal. They are like sitting inside the bag of charcoal. They miss the cycle. So this block is developed and you suffer and you don't get in touch with the consciousness. That's why Krishna says in the next verse, approaching objects, that is approaching the world with senses, that is with consciousness, that is free from attachment and aversion, one wins serenity. Serenity, one's sufferings end, reason becomes steadfast. You see, and he said, the undiscriminating and the witless one with no yearning for the soul is never peaceful and is never happy. So, that's what Krishna says, that you approach the world through your consciousness, not through your mind. You see, let the mind fall back to the consciousness. Don't be like the security guy looking at the charcoal and making the mind as the most important thing. The mind is not the driver, the consciousness is the driver. That is what, because the mind is always getting attachment or aversion. So, always remember the story and say, well, I don't want to do this. You see, always just remember, I don't want to be like a security guy, like a fool trying to get the bag of charcoals from the light, because even if I get it, it's a bag of charcoal. Don't, as we are putting our mind out, there's something which is moving away every second. That's the consciousness. We are forgetting to enjoy the beauty of the consciousness. Because in consciousness, there's joy, abundance, love. There's no need to control anything. There's no need to conquer. You see, consciousness does not need control. Consciousness does not need conquering. Consciousness just needs embracing. Just embrace your consciousness. Remember the story, and you will be in a very powerful situation. Rosario. I hope that throws some light on your question. You keep asking questions, and I keep answering.